Good morning, people. Well, you're probably asking, what in the world is he doing? I'm finally getting around to shooting Max's flintlock rifle that I got, and the sights that were on it when I got it were not pinhead sights, so I have made a new set of sights for it, and I didn't relish the idea of either bringing the tools to modify the rear sight or the front sight for that matter, or running back and forth out there to try different size donuts or on my spotter board. So I'm going to try this. I've got a piece of cardboard out there that's got 4 different circles on it of different sizes. And what I'm going to do here when the light comes up, I'm just killing time until the light comes up. It's too dark yet. But what I'm going to do is find out which one of those fit the rear sight the best. And then that way I can cut those out of my black poster board, and I don't have to run back and forth and messing around with that. So that's what we're doing here today. Like I said, the light is not good. It's about ready to come up over the trees, so it's going to get better here shortly. But I guess while we're waiting for the light to come up, I'll show a few things on Max's old gun here. I've had this gun in videos before. It's really dark, and I'm sorry about that. But anyway, this was the gun that Alan Hunter built for Max Egolf, and Max never got to shoot it. Max passed away, and I had the opportunity to buy the gun, which I did, and help the family a little bit there. This gun is, well, first of all, Alan did a wonderful job on it. Except for the triangular shape on the buttstock, it's very, very much like a Saudi rifle out of Saudi, Tennessee. And I doubt that Alan had ever seen a Saudi rifle. It's all iron mounted. The barrel, we don't have any idea who made that barrel. It's an inch, just a hair under an inch and 7/16, 48 inches, 45 caliber. The backstory, what little I know of it is, Scott Lauda had the barrel. He sold it to Mike Yazel. Mike Yazel had it for a great number of years. And then he sold it to Max. And of course, then Alan made the gun out of it. From the inside, looking at it, it's a very well-made barrel. Whoever made it knew exactly what they were doing. And I'm really anxious to see how it shoots. I have shot it just a few times just to make sure to go off. It's got Davis number 7 set triggers, iron trigger guard, iron butt plate. The lock, it's a left-hand gun, by the way. Now this will be a flipped video, so you'll think it's a right hand, but it's actually a left-hand lock. And it's one of the old locks that many years ago came up out of Canada. I was trying to think of the man's name, John. Anyway, it's a copy of a Dur's egg. Very pretty lock. I would show you close up. It's too dark in here. Very pretty lock. I think the gun's just overall just gorgeous. I love the iron mounted guns, the Southern Mountain rifles. I think they're perfectly adapted to shotgun shooting. They look the part. Alan did a fantastic job on it, and I'm hoping to get to shoot it here in a little bit and just see how it does shoot. But first thing we need to do is figure out which one of those circles out there we're going to use. I just kind of looked at that as a way to save me some energy. As you get older, you learn to economize your motion, and I didn't see me going back and forth and back and forth. So if I settle on one of those or close to one of those, I've brought everything with me to cut out circles and do all that. And I got my regular frame in the truck here. I'll get it out and I'll start shooting this gun. But for now, we're just going to wait and see what happens with the light. We'll get back to it here in a minute. Something else I want to go over while I'm waiting on the light. I've done the video on diopter, adjustable iris on your glasses and the blinder and all that. And I had those on a pair of just decent quality safety glasses. The problem I had with the safety glasses, the lenses are highly curved on them because obviously the idea is to protect your eyes from stuff coming from the front and the sides. And they never really fit me right. They want to slip down on my nose, and they were also so tight to my body that I started this last weekend at Xenia. I was getting a lot of fogging up of my lenses and stuff when I was trying to shoot. So I found these. These are called over glasses safety glasses, and they're made to go with a pair of regular prescription glasses. But what I like about them is the lenses are flatter, and the biggest problem with adjustable irises is when you put them on a curved lens, you're not seeing a true circle through them. You're seeing sort of an egg shape. And so these actually fit me better than the ones I've been using. They're far enough away from my eyes that the moisture doesn't build up in them. So I think I'm going to like them quite a bit, and they're pretty easy. I'll show you, I had to make notches in them because they're so thick at the top. I made notches in them for the blinder and the adjustable iris to fit down in them. Just a couple of seconds with a Dremel tool will do that. But anyway, if you're in the hunt for shooting glasses and using a blinder and using adjustable iris, you might give these a look. They've actually got a place in the back you can add a strap to it, and like an elastic strap that goes around the back of your head to help hold them in place. But these for me fit perfectly, so I'm not going to mess with them at all. Just a little heads up on safety glasses. Okay, I started out with blue poster board and obviously a black ring donut. Excuse me. I'm not getting enough contrast from the black to the blue. They're too dark to my eyes. I might try a lighter green or blue, but honestly, I think here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to I had this piece with me, sort of a vellum type cover like you get maybe on manila folders, and I can see that a lot better. But this absolutely is not what you want to see in a new gun. Now there's actually 3 balls right there, but then you get those over there on the side, and that is not good. So hang on, I'm going to show you why it didn't work. Okay, and here is the why. This one's completely torn too. This one's got hardly anything left. These aren't the worst I've ever seen, but they do have cuts on them. Now, I have never done anything to the crown of this gun. It's the way I found it. It had been crowned by whoever made it. I will give that a look. It's kind of weird that this is what's happening to me today, because last weekend we went over to Xenia to the big chunk shoot, and Bill Wright was having trouble all day long with his rifle shredding patches. And I mean, he was getting discouraged. Everybody was getting discouraged about it. But we talked about it, and the only thing, and we checked the crown was good. The only thing we finally came up with, there were some sharp edges on the lands. It's a brand new barrel. Now, if you've been in this game very long, you used to hear the old thing, well, you got to run 200 shots through a barrel before you get it broke in and get all the machining issues worked out of everything, and that's true. But when you're building a chunk gun, if you want to go shoot, 200 shots is the equivalent to going to 20 matches. So you'd really rather have that gun shooting out of the gate. So we usually, and I'm not going to name names here, but this barrel was hand lapped by the manufacturer. So I don't know I don't know how he's going to figure that out. I do know, I talked to him last night. He's going to go ahead and cast a lap and lap it himself. I think first thing I'll try on this one is some steel wool or Scotch Brite in case there is some sharp lands. It may just be at the muzzle. I did notice that occasionally when I went from the short starter to the long starter, it kind of like it was hung on something, you know. So, and what I may do is take it home. I've got a way to not take them apart and run them down with a long starter, then pop the ball back out and look at the patch. So I may do that. But my main drive today was to figure out how these new sights are going to work on this gun. I think they're going to work out fine. The thing about sights, you want it when you any gun that's new to you or new sights especially, you want to do it enough that you have reference points when you're sitting there behind the gun shooting, that you want to be able to look down the gun and see the same picture every time. And that can be kind of hard to do, but the main thing you do to cure that is shoot it. I can't even show you the sights because it won't be in focus. But if you've got a new gun, get it to the range, shoot the bejeebers out of it. Learn where to hold. I think I know where to hold on this sight now. There's a reference point, and I'll just throw this in on this particular gun. It's a pinhead. Through the back sight, I raise that up until the base of that pinhead just either flush or disappears at my rear notch. When it does that, I'm dead on my elevation. Of course, my pinhead is on the white dot. I think today I was shooting a 2 3/8. The light's horrible out there. Normally I can get down 1 3/4 anyway, but it's not a good day. The humidity is absolutely despicable. And even though I bought the cleaners that supposedly are anti-fog, these things are fogging up. You can wipe them with the anti-fog, and the next shot they're fogged up. I have bought one of the little fans that a lot of the guys are starting to use to blow across their face to keep the humidity out of their glasses. And of course, it's sitting at home on my workbench, same place it was last weekend when we were at Xenia. So I got to remember just throw that in my shooting box. But the main thing today is I found more information I needed about the colors of the background around the donut. I found my reference points on the front and rear sides to how to line those up. Now, I have no doubt this gun will shoot. I just got to figure out why it's cutting patches. That might be the harder part of this. But I will, I'll rub it up real good with some steel wool or Scotch Brite. Use the green Scotch Brite. And give that crown. I'll go ahead and re-crown. I don't know how they crown it. I'm going to crown it the way I crown them. I've never had any trouble with that. So we'll give that a go, and we'll try to get back to the range here maybe next week and see how she's doing. Friendship's just around the corner, and I really don't. I got a lot going on, and I really don't have time to be, remaking sights and everything. Right now, see my little friend? Don't touch them. Okay, right now, my shots are the shots that were good, that the patch didn't tear in, were in my black donut. That is not what I really want, but the only way I'm going to get around that is to make a new base for the front sight and be able to lower it even lower. And I just don't have time to do that between now and Friendship, and I don't want to do it between now and Friendship. If I can get the gun shooting straight, I'll deal with the problem of it shooting in the black donut. All you have to do there, actually, it's not a big deal. Carry you some pieces of the black poster board you're using for your donut, and as you go through the day, if you start ragging that hole up where you're starting to notice it to your eye, because sometimes that's distracting, just cover it up. Staple a piece of black over it, or glue a piece, or tape a piece, or whatever. Keep on shooting. Doesn't have anything to do with how the gun's shooting. Wherever the gun's making a group on the paper is where you ought to be. All right, guys, that's going to be it. I'm going to go home and get under the air conditioning and see if I can figure out why is this thing's cutting patches. I guess it's my punishment for last weekend because Bill was having trouble and now I'm having trouble. So, but I'll get it figured out. So, till the next time.